Hi, I'm Tony Baker, and welcome to Rookies to Racers podcast.
Hey guys, I'm Cameron Baker. I'm the son. I'll be asking all the questions today. Why did you want to start a podcast?
I just felt that there was some information that needed to be shared. From racing back in the day to, racing now, I just felt that there was some stories and info that past racers could give back to the guy that's the garage racer I'd call, wanting to get out and race, to doing it.
Well, you used to be a garage racer, so how was that first race you did recently out in King of the Hammers?
Well, I raced back in the day and then, just retired, I guess, from quads. And then the UTVs really kind of sparked my interest. And finally, following Cameron around to KOH and other races, I just felt that I wanted to give it a try. So jumping into UTV was pretty cool.
Going from quads back in the day to UTVs now, how was that switch?
Oh, it's a rush. I mean, you just feel so, cockpity type thing. You're strapped in and you have, all the, safety wise, it just feels so different. You're just not sitting on top of a big machine. You're sitting in the machine, and it was a rush.
Getting back to KOH, what was your first impression on going to the events and following me?
I mean, it was incredible. I actually tell everybody it's like going to a score race and maybe two best of the desert races and back in the day a Lucas Oil race. I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to see.
It's endless.
It is endless. There's so many new people. You're in all this, you're in the different area. If somebody says they're going to go to the event and spend the day there, they're missing out.
And people don't sleep there. It doesn't have a bedtime. KOH doesn't have a bedtime. I feel like they're going all day and all night every year. But getting back to the rookie program and stuff like that with KOH, how was doing that for the first time and all the things that they had going with their rookie program?
With King of the Hammers, following it and watching videos and different things and things that they've been doing each year, it's insane. So I found a program that they had. It was called the Rookies Program. Said, what the heck? I'm going to sign up. Signed up, loaded everything myself, went out there myself, met all these new people. That's what I needed to do to just get off my butt.
What made you want to start the rookie program and get into racing again?
It's fascinating to me, the different style of racing. Of course, you shoot through the desert. It's a different feel out there.
Especially in the rocks.
Yeah, real pretty. And then all of a sudden you come to these rock sections where you're like, I could never do that. Where you start thinking that yes, I could, and I am. So I just signed up for the program. I met all new people, a lot of past racers, had good insight. A lot of PR people, just teaching you media and so on. And Warren Winch taught me a lot. I've never pulled a line on a winch, and I needed it. So it's awesome.
KOH isn't rainbows and sunshine, though. How was your first race?
Well, as I've said in the past, it was more nerve-wracking getting ready for it, because every time I try to go on a trip, I seem to, all of a sudden, as I'm halfway down the road, in my own neighborhood, I'm whipping a bitch and say, I forgot something.
Every desert trip, my whole childhood, has been that. Turning around to where now I triple check 5 times, a billion times, check something because I don't want to forget something like this guy.
Yeah, it was. It was nerve-wracking to, from, leaving the house and thinking that I had everything to showing up there and, figuring out where I'm going to camp, what's the best place, all these different things that are normal, and till the, tech and contingency to, line it up in the line to, qualify. It was numb. I was just numb.
What was going through your head in the line for qualifying?
The excitement of getting out there.
Yeah. It is a lot of fun, and I bet just the blood boiling on your getting ready to get going on.
And it was awesome. It was awesome. I had a great co-pilot, Cole Parker, and he just made it easy. So there was not any nerves or, scared or, or so on. It was just that you were just excited to blast through the first areas and just get out to that open desert. And we had a really good time, straight through Turkey Claw, that it just seemed like a bomb went off and all these cars were sideways and upside down and so on. And we just kind of patiently just walk on through there like we did it before. It was awesome. It was awesome. Can't wait to be out there again.
Going back to how you kind of started in racing, or how did you get involved in racing?
Well, honestly, I don't know. I had a little Kawasaki, I think, and it wasn't my parents. It was a close friend, Phil Baker. No relationship, and he took me out to my first race to a race, District 38, here in Imperial Valley, and I watched it. He raced a Husqvarna, had a really good time, and never looked back. Was on 125s and some 250s, and then it was on to three-wheelers and quads after that, and just it all unraveled after that. Then I went into score races, best of the desert races. I did do some stuff back east with Warner Racing through Can-Am, and which was WPSA, and it was rad. That's actually where I did jump over logs and rocks and through the mud and the craziest shit known to man. But it was fun, and it was an experience. But I think UTVs are definitely the direction.
So you aren't necessarily a rookie. It just kind of been a little bit.
Been a little bit, but it just the rookie, this thing saying rookie, it just says that, you're rookie, new to a newbie into.
Yeah, the world of King of the Hammers is big, so a rookie into that makes sense. But
yeah, the rookie, it's just really something that it's totally new, in that platform of racing, and again. UTVs are something new, small little car. It definitely is fun. I didn't have a lot of experience besides racing, 1,600 cars and quads and motorcycles and so on. But just that platform, that organization, that racing out there is rad. And every year they keep making it bigger and better. And it's something for everybody to go and check out.
Well, it's kind of hard for some of these people to come to these events. How did you end up paying or to get to these events and race?
I don't know. I mean, you just have to go to work every day, and just all you really need to do is have a car and have all the safety aspects of the car, and you need to sign up for the race. You need to just have them throw the green flag and drive your car through the race in a class that would be fitting for you, and just do it. You need to at least finish in order to see where you're going to end up.
Don't go trying to win it. Just finish.
Just
finishing it is the biggest part.
Get the jitters out and just experience it. You'll know what you want to do after that.
How old were you when you started racing?
I believe 16. 16, yeah, around 16.
And then how old were you when you did your rookie race in King of the Hammers?
I'm 38.
I knew this guy was gonna say 38. I'll skip that. Skip that.
Thanks.
Who did you look up to in racing?
Honestly, it was, I believe, just Danny Hamill. You know, I mean, back in the day, he was just an animal, just like Johnny Campbell, and they had that something inside them, the drive, and just Ivan Stewart, of course, Frank Scoop Vessels.
How did it feel being a rookie back then, racing against all those big names in a big desert race like Score, Baja races, and just
I guess
getting chased down by a trophy truck or something?
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, there's things where, you know, you got the big trucks coming along and other race cars and stuff, but you just kind of learn to, you know, stay out of their way. Back then there were some helicopters that would fly ahead and kind of pace, you know, where we were or so on. So it kind of, you knew that if the helicopter's, you know, above you, if you're not overall in the race, then there's somebody coming up and they're coming fast.
What do you want this podcast to do for a rookie?
I just really want them to get bits and pieces from each racer, you know, the experiences that they have. You know, there's just so much that'll help, whether you're packing up, you know, what should I bring? Where should I stay? How have I prepped? There's people that are out there that would lend a hand. There's tire sponsors, there's part sponsors, there's different people out there that could just give just that little information to help you find them, instead of you having to just go through all this computer social media type stuff. You know, hey, call John down there at, you know, Tire Stop or something.
Who are you wanting to get onto the podcast and come talk?
I don't know. I mean, there's just so many. I can't name them all. But I mean, you have older guys that, you know, definitely have a lot of time and experience back east, and then you have, you know, Mike Penlands and Scott Kilby's, and I mean, these are just grassroots. You know, started, you know, back in the day as the organizations would, you know, open up. Then you have like some guys I met at the, you know, the rookie program through KOH. They call themselves the East Coast Cowboys.
How was it getting your family involved with racing and stuff like that? It was kind of stressful for me sometimes growing up when I would wake up or something, or like I'd get news from grandma that like you hurt yourself in a race and then you'll be in a hospital for a bit. I'm just like, is my dad gonna die or something? I just didn't. It was nerve-wracking sometimes for some of these incidences. So
I don't know. I mean, it was through racing. It is really kind of a family involved type of thing. So, you know, you're out camping, and of course there's a race the next morning, and you wake up early and you go and do the race, and then after the race you're having a good time with you know, your family, riding, you know, their bikes and quads and so on, and you know, camping out and cooking and barbecuing, and you know, it really is a real family type atmosphere.
Getting back to what you said about sponsors, how would you tell or explain to a rookie how to get into getting some sponsors, getting some help for getting out to the races and doing what they want to do?
My idea has been with this podcast is to get companies on here, whether I'm interviewing them at their place of work, and just giving them, you know, a chance to explain that we may not be able to give you something, but there's ways for us to help you. whether they gave percentages off of, tires or some parts or so on, to just get everybody in the door, and working together with each other and building a relationship, which is so important for the long term.
What were some of your fears getting in the rookie program, racing King of the Hammers, and getting into UTV?
I think it's just the UTV thing, from jumping off a quad and, I don't know, having 10, 12 years of not doing any type of a racing. But coming out to King of the Hammers was, again, it was just fascinating. New area, new people, and just, oh, wow, racing through the rocks. Just never had any type of experience even playing out there, to then lining up. I don't know. It was just, am I prepared? Do I have the right machine? All the young guys around you, it's just, can I do it? And yes, I can.
Did it take you a second to get used to those rocks?
It did. But when I was out there pre-running, you just kind of put your mind in a different mindset that, you're not stuck. You just need to momentumly get through it and keep your pace and not tear up your machine. You're not a bulldozer.
During his race, he went through Chocolate Thunder, and what did you end up doing to break, and what did you break?
Well, the night before, of course, you had mentioned how everything turns into the biggest party, chaotic.
No one sleeps.
Cars going everywhere.
People are always filling up Chocolate Thunder, and then you look across the whole desert, and then you see Backdoor over there, a whole party in its own. And then just people come up, fill the whole side of the cliff with just all their cars, and then you just see all the idiots driving up Chocolate Thunder, displacing all the rocks, making the race course completely different on race day. So when you come into it thinking that you already got your line through the rocks, it completely changed, completely flipped boulders over, and it's a completely different mountain now.
Yeah, it's not like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So as we pre-ran yesterday, let's say,
different,
and we come along there and, okay, I've seen all my friends and so on, all the different videos, and they popping up to the right-hand side, then they, throttle it and then drop the front end down around the rock. That was my plan. This is the way I'm going to go through there, which I'd never been through before. So I did that. It was awesome. I thought it just seemed like I had practiced it over and over again. It just was natural, by the help of my friends. So again, now we have our practice. We pre-run all these different things, going through all the different trails, sledgehammers, and
but I'm getting back to that. Through Chocolate Thunder, you broke.
So yes, correct. So in the race, in the night before, it was the way I pre-ran it. The next day during the race, a little bit of rain, that line wasn't there. That rock was moved. So I had to go to the left where I came in watching other cars, because it was a little bit of a bottleneck. And then so I lost momentum, spun the tire. My wheel had gotten into a crevice and snapped the axle. At that point, we thought we were going to fix it there. And then ended up needing to back the car down into a better area and then start the repair.
How was it, middle of the race, going down and needing to fix your car and still wanting to finish that race?
It's just nerve-wracking, and it gets you a little down because you had such a good pace. We didn't have a great qualifier just because we had had some clacking going along in the front end, so not knowing really what it ended up just being a skid plate that actually we thought it was like a differential or an axle or something. So we babied it. Of course, we were probably the slowest through there. So ended up lining up in a 80th position, where then we came along and, after the desert, 20th position. Which was nice. So at that point, you come along and you go through the rock area after your main pit, and you start the rock racing. And yeah, you were doing so well, and then that happened, and yeah, it set you back a little bit. But all you're thinking about is just getting back in the car and completing the different areas.
Did you dream about racing?
Well, of course I did, and I do. It's just one of those things that you just, this KOH stuff is fascinating, and you just when we got home from this year's 2024 race, it was just, now you're just constantly thinking about, how am I going to do it better? How am I going to do my camp better? What else am I going to bring? You end up telling more people about it, more friends. Everybody wants to get involved. So now you're expanding your team and your things that you're going to do out there. So you add another car or another toy or something.
What's your favorite thing about racing?
Well, now it was going to Mexico, and the food, the people, and so on. So that's definitely just a culture type thing. Everybody has to experience it. To now going to this King of the Hammers, it's just awesome. It's kind of the same thing. There's just so many things to see, and like we were just talking about, the chaoticness of, the night after a race. It's insane. There's just it's like a bomb went off. There's a war. There's a war at Chocolate Thunder. There's a war over there at Backdoor. And then again, when it comes around to, let's say, the Everyman Challenge, and seeing what people have built, and then you have your Saturday of 4,400. The kings of kings of these cars are there, and you're seeing them rip and tear and go so fast, flip over, roll down the hill, and back up and continue on. I mean, it's you're like, how did that happen? What did I just see? Or a Bronco jump off of a cliff in a qualifier. I mean, it's insane, and that's just him driving it that way.
Yeah, King of the Hammers really does get crazy. Just the lifestyle and just the bringing in all the different people of King of the Hammers is my favorite part. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we went there with, some UTVs and maybe a Rhino, and then now we're bringing, these little mini trucks that cruise around and are super fun. And then we ended up getting that Volkswagen bus where everybody wants to jump on and just go for a ride. And it's just a Volkswagen bus that has a cage, and it's lifted, and it's just cool. The things you see out there, it's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Well, do you have any more final thoughts of what you want to say to a rookie, or what you want to do with this podcast?
I just think with combined info, from people around the country that have different racing organizations and have been involved, just can create something and it be a good experience to, again, help them get out of the garage and, to the racetrack. Whether it's a King of the Hammers or it's your local, just signing up and meeting the people there. It's just, again, that family environment to, help you get to the starting line. And then with some more information, bits and pieces from everybody, I just believe we can help you get to the finish line.
What else you got to say?
No, I mean, along with, some info that I just really have my heart into, we'd have all kinds of different racers from around, again, all the different racing environments, not just a UTV.
And I tell them too, we have endless people around here that we can throw on the podcast. We have a great background of off-road, so we can get all of the buddies out here to talk, and we can get mechanics to the racers to the builders to the enthusiasts to the company owners, to all of it, to just come on and talk and voice their opinion of racing and what they stories and
what they have to give back.
Yeah.
And that just touches on a point. It's just bringing everybody together. Like I said before, this tailgate racing from back in the day, it's everybody being involved with each other, not just the big guy with the big sponsor, so on. No, we're trying to bring everybody out to the track because you could do it just like they are doing it. You could line directly right up next to them without that factory sponsor. So we just want to give information that's imperative in helping you get there, because you can do it, and we know you can. So the more people that are involved in these racing, and the more people that do sign up, I said this before to other people. If it were not for the garage racer signing up for the race, there would not be any racing. There would not be a factory out there, racing organization, a racing team that would have an organization to go to. They need you. They need us to sign up, just like that factory team in race. They need entries. So without you, they have no racing. So as many people as we can get into this podcast, giving the information of what we want to get our point across, I think it's just a good win for everybody.
Start DMing him, telling him you want to get on the podcast now. Well, I feel like it's good for a good little podcast. Kind of explains everything that we want to explain.
Yep.
And check back in soon, and we'll have another episode up soon, hopefully with someone else, and ask him a billion questions.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching our Rookies to Racers podcast, and look for us on the next episode.
Sweet.
New face, new place.
Yeah.